It was common to have concubines for ancient emperors, but what we need to know about the male concubines that the ancient emperor used to have. Today, you're in for a treat because we're going to delve deep into the interesting and frequently contentious subject of Emperor Hadrian's relationships with his male concubines. Come explore this facet of Roman history with us as we delve into the complexities and debates that surround it. Emperor Hadrian was born in the year 76 AD, and he ascended to the throne of Rome after the death of his adoptive father and immediate predecessor, Emperor Trajan, in the year 117 AD. The period of time known as the Reign of Hadrian represented a considerable break from the period known as the Reign of Trajan, which was characterized by military conquests and territorial expansion. Hadrian, on the other hand, concentrated his efforts on consolidating and safeguarding the enormous areas that had been captured by the Roman Empire. During the early years of his reign, one of the most significant decisions that Hadrian made was to give up some of the areas in the east that Trajan had conquered, including Mesopotamia. This was one of the most notable things that Hadrian did. This change in strategy was intended at easing the strain placed on the resources of the empire and establishing more Roman dominance within frontiers that were easier to defend. Hadrian was a proponent of the concept of defensive imperialism, which prioritized the strengthening of already established frontiers over the establishment of new ones. The construction of Hadrian's Wall in Britain, a defensive barrier that marked the northern frontier of the Roman Empire in Britain, is the most well-known example of his dedication to this strategy and serves as its most well-known representative. The wall was not just a physical barrier, but also a symbol of Roman power and authority in addition to its functional purpose. Hadrian was also well known for the extensive travels he undertook across the Roman Empire. Collectively, these excursions are known as his Grand Tour. Because of these trips, he was able to visit almost all of the provinces that made up the Roman Empire. His objective was to acquire a deeper comprehension of the requirements of his subjects, consolidate Roman rule, and win the allegiance of a variety of locations. During these lengthy voyages, he kept a careful eye on the state of the provinces and worked on a number of different construction projects to improve the infrastructure, roads, and public buildings. In addition to these attitudes toward the outside world, Hadrian was also known for his significant support of the arts and culture. He was known for his participation in the design and construction of the Pantheon in Rome, which is still one of the most recognizable and well-preserved buildings from ancient Rome. He had a keen interest in architecture and is famous for his contributions to the project. Hadrian's reign over Rome was characterized by a time of relative stability and prosperity for the city. The emperor's unwavering dedication to the betterment of the provinces, as seen by the administrative decisions he made and the many journeys he undertook, was a major factor in the increased feelings of safety and well-being experienced by a large number of Roman people. His dedication to artistic and architectural projects left an indelible mark on the empire. As a result, a great number of monuments and works of art bear witness to his patronage. It is against the backdrop of Hadrian's rule as one of the 5 good emperors that we investigate the mysterious and convoluted aspects of his personal life, particularly his connections with male friends such as Antinous. This is because Antinous was one of Hadrian's male companions. For one to have a full comprehension of these facets, one must have an understanding of the multifaceted nature of Hadrian's rule, as well as the cultural norms and ideals of ancient Rome. However, it is Hadrian's personal life and the relationships he developed over the course of his life that have fascinated historians and scholars for centuries. In ancient Rome, the idea of concubinage had a very different connotation from what is generally understood to be a romantic connection in today's society. Concubinage was a term that was used to describe a formal, long-term partnership that occurred alongside a marriage that was recognized by the law. This relationship may be between a man and a woman, or on occasion, between a man and another man. The most important difference was that a concubine did not have the same legal status as a spouse in traditional societies. Concubinage was frequently viewed as a pragmatic arrangement, one that could provide companionship, assistance, or even heirs, particularly in circumstances where regular weddings were not practical. Culture, society, and politics all played a role in the development of the norms and attitudes about various kinds of partnerships in Roman society. The acceptability of same-sex partnerships in ancient Rome is a delicate and complex topic that requires careful consideration. It is essential to be aware of the significant gap between the ways in which people in ancient Rome viewed homosexuality and the way people think about the subject nowadays. Relationships between people of the same sexual orientation were not uncommon in Roman society, particularly those that involved adult men and younger boys. The Romans did not have the same ideas about sexual orientation as we do now, but they were open to a wide variety of sexual acts. In point of fact, pederasty, the practice in which an older man takes a younger male lover or companion, was not only allowed but also had specific social and cultural standards associated with it. Pederasty was a practice in which an older man would take a younger male lover or partner. These principles were adhered to in Emperor Hadrian's interactions with his male associates, which are examples. Throughout his life, he maintained close relationships with a number of different men, with Antinous being one of the most well-known of these friends. Antinous, a young man from Bithynia, became Hadrian's lover and companion. He accompanied the emperor on his lengthy travels and played a vital role in Hadrian's life. Antinous died while Hadrian was still alive. Historians and academics have paid a considerable amount of attention to the friendship that existed between Emperor Hadrian and Antinous. Their bond was strong and unbreakable, and it remained strong over the course of several years. Hadrian's interest in Antinous was not only fleeting, rather it developed into a deep and abiding passion for him. Hadrian was profoundly shaken by the shocking and unfortunate passing of Antinous, which is thought to have taken place around the year 130 AD. Historians are unable to come to a consensus over the manner in which he passed away, with their hypotheses ranging from suicide to accidental death. Hadrian's grief over the loss of his lover Antinous led him to construct a city in Egypt and call it Antinopolis in his honor. Antinous was buried there. Additionally, he was the one who began the practice of deifying Antinous, which ultimately led to the widespread worship of his memory in the provinces of the Roman Empire that were located to the east. The enduring impact of Hadrian's friendship with Antinous is apparent not only in the physical monuments dedicated to him, but also in the literature and poetry that reflected Hadrian's profound anguish and longing for his lost companion. These are all part of the Hadrian's legacy to Antinous. The diverse aspect of Roman society is reflected in the Emperor Hadrian's sexuality, which was complicated to say the least. It is vital to emphasize that even while he had genuine relationships with male companions, these relationships were frequently entangled with the political and social standards of the day. Some historians believe that these partnerships, like as the one with Antinous, may have served political reasons, thereby strengthening alliances with specific regions or groups. Specifically, these historians believe that these ties may have been strengthened with Antinous. Because of Hadrian's extensive travels and relationships with a wide variety of cultures, diplomacy may have been required on his part, and personal connections may have played a role in the formation of alliances. The question of Hadrian's sexuality is one that has long been of interest to historians, and it is one that prompts inquiries into the ways in which individuals' private lives intersected with political power in ancient Rome. Historians aren't entirely sure how Emperor Hadrian related to the other men he kept company with at the time, thus this topic is always up for discussion. Some people look at these connections largely through a political perspective, arguing that they were used as instruments for increasing one's power and influence. Others highlight the emotional depth of these connections, stating that they were genuine gestures of affection and love. They underline that these manifestations were genuine. If you found this video of Emperor Hadrian and his male concubines to be interesting, make sure to give this video a like, share it with others, and subscribe to receive additional information that will make you think. We appreciate you coming along with us on this adventure through the complexity of Roman history. Until we meet again, please continue your quest for knowledge and an understanding of the past.